Opioids plaguing people across the country, controlling lives and claiming them.
I saw firsthand lives and communities that were ravaged by the opioid epidemic.
And fighting back. It's all hands on deck. And joining us now talking about this, the Seminole County Sheriff, Dennis Lena. Sheriff, always good to see you.
Thank you, Bob. Great to have you. Thanks for being here.
You started in this advisory board, started it in January, appointed by the Attorney General. Can you tell us what has happened between that time and now?
Yeah, the Attorney General hit the ground running. She contacted me, and she wanted, before legislative session started, to have a white paper to outline the opioid epidemic across the country and give best practice recommendations on what we needed to do to combat it.
So there's a new program. It's called SCORE. Tell us how this works. What does it entail?
So SCORE is the Seminole Collaborative Opioid Response Team. What we have determined is the #1 predictor on whether or not you will overdose and die is whether or not you've overdosed and survived. And up until this point, there's been little services. When somebody is revived with Narcan, they're hospitalized, they're taken there, they're medically cleared and screened, and ultimately released back into the same environment that they overdosed in the first place. Right. We recognize that, and now we're providing immediate service at the hospital room for them as well as their family to help them navigate the course to recovery.
Sheriff, this has certainly been in the headlines a lot recently, but you and I were talking, before we came on the air. This has been an ongoing problem for years that you've seen.
You know, we've seen the state of Florida had all the pill mills, 850 pill mills across the state of Florida. To give a snapshot of how big of a problem this is, and this is not unique to Seminole, third most densely populated county in the state, we've had nearly 600 overdoses in 2018, 450 or so deployments of Narcan, naloxone, and 82 deaths as a result of this opioid overdose. If you take every vehicle crash and active gun violence combined, you're less than half of the people who have died as a result of an overdose. Wow. 80% of them were at one time legally prescribed an opioid for a pre-existing legitimate medical condition.
And how big is the correlation between drug abuse like this and crime? I imagine it's very interconnected.
Well, it is connected. However, what we're finding right now is this is not a situation of trying to make bad people good, but rather sick people well. The majority of people here are military veterans, they're brothers and sisters and athletes. It is really changing the face of addiction. People think about this and they think it's somebody living under the overpass. This is not the case that we're seeing.
Right. Now, where do you target your efforts? Do you target your efforts at getting people off of the drugs? Do you target your efforts at getting doctors to prescribe something else rather than these opioids?
Well, it's a combination of three areas. We want to make sure that physicians are informed and educated and doing all that they can not to overly prescribe opioids. We want to make sure that we're using medical-assisted treatment for those individuals who have become dependent on substance abuse, because this isn't a 28-day program where you can just get off this. Addiction specialists say it is twice as long with medical-assisted treatment than when you were addicted to whatever the substance was. And last and certainly not least, we need to hold the drug dealers accountable. And in Seminole County, we have successfully charged 13 individuals with first-degree murder if they dealt drugs that resulted in somebody's death.
Wow. It's truly incredible. We appreciate what you're doing so much. Thank you so much, Sheriff Lima, for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you.